Images of crimes committed in Ukraine have shocked the world. Rarely has a war been so closely documented in real time across all social media platforms. Still, will alleged war criminals be held accountable for their actions? And will Russia's President Vladimir Putin be put on trial? Even war has rules. These are defined in the Geneva Conventions and a series of other international agreements. First, warring parties are barred from deliberately attacking civilians and civilian infrastructures, such as hospitals or power plants. Second, some weapons are banned, for instance mines, cluster munitions, and chemical or biological weapons. And third, the sick and wounded must receive care, including captured troops. Serious crimes such as murder, rape, and the mass persecution of a particular group may qualify as crimes against humanity. The conflict in Ukraine is a special case.
Syria has often been called the first YouTube war. I think Myanmar, we saw a lot of issues play out over Facebook. But in this particular context, we're seeing TikTok, Telegram, Facebook, Twitter. There are so many sources of information that I think the new challenge is really thinking about the scale of data that's out there.
Alleged crimes are constantly being recorded live and made public. No one on Twitter can escape these images, which means that the international community has been under pressure to take action. In mid-May, the International Criminal Court in The Hague sent its biggest teams of experts ever to investigate alleged war crimes in Ukraine.
Es kommt ja nicht so häufig vor, dass ein Staat einen anderen Staat planmäßig und systematisch überfällt und damit tatsächlich die territoriale Integrität eines Staates massiv in Frage stellt. Das heißt, hier ist natürlich auch die politische Bereitschaft der Staaten ganz besonders groß. Also die politische Dimension spielt hier der eigentlichen Idee des Völkerstrafrechts in die Hände, das nämlich, wie gesagt, davon abhängt, wie bereit die Staaten sind, tatsächlich das Völkerstrafrecht als Instrument zu nutzen, um Einzelpersonen auch verantwortlich zu machen für diese Taten.
Some trials are already underway. 21-year-old soldier Vadim Shishimarin was sentenced to life in prison for shooting a Ukrainian civilian in Sumy region. It is relatively easy to blame a war crime on the soldier who committed it, but what about the leader who was in command? And what about Vladimir Putin? Charging him would be far harder. In war crime trials, one has to demonstrate that the commander was aware of the crime and that they could not or did not want to prevent it. But documenting the chain of command between the infantrymen and the Kremlin will hardly be possible. But Vladimir Putin could at least be charged with the crime of aggression, that is, with orchestrating the actual attack on Ukraine. Some experts are calling for the setting up of a special tribunal for that. Little of this matters until Putin is actually apprehended. As the ICC does not conduct trial in absentia, Putin would have to show up in court, and that's unlikely to happen. And the ICC does not have its own police force to execute arrest warrants, which means that Putin will evade justice as long as he's in Russia or its allied countries, and as long as he is a head of state. For now, it seems that only junior commanders or individual soldiers might get prosecuted, mainly in Ukraine and perhaps in other countries. There is little hope to get a hold of the big fish, but international lawyers are not giving up.
Nenn mal als Beispiel Omar al-Bashir, vor 2 Jahren noch amtierender Staatspräsident des Sudans, bereits seit über 10 Jahren vom Internationalen Strafgerichtshof laufen Ermittlungen wegen Genozids gegen ihn. Es gab einen großen Pessimismus, dass man ihm eines Tages wirklich habhaft werden würde. Mittlerweile ist er gestürzt und soll vom sudanesischen Staat ausgeliefert werden.
International criminal law requires patience and meticulous investigation to be ready when justice can be done, and that also applies to the war in Ukraine.